welcome you watching This Is Exclusive with me, Shavins, and tonight we put the spotlight on three special stories. Masoud Azhar's tape for the first time since Operation Sindoor. Intelligence agencies have been able to identify the presence of Masoud Azhar and the tactics that have been adopted by Jaish-e-Mohammed. We put the spotlight on that, and of course, the other big story that no other news network in India is essentially following, that is the return of the rebel. Muivah, Thuingaleng Muivah is now back, reigniting the debate of Naga. All this and much more in this edition of This Is Exclusive, but up first, let me take you through the headlines we are tracking at this hour. Republic accesses 21-minute tape of Masoud Azhar from Pakistan. Audio tape details Masoud indoctrinating women. Thuingaleng Muivah's deputy speech to Republic TV confirms the approach of alliances from Bangladesh and the junta over Nagaland movement.
अच्छा डील होना चाहिए, दोनों के लिए, दोनों पक्षों के लिए फायदेमंद होगा तो डील हो जाएगा। फिर दिसंबर के नवंबर में भी हो सकता है, तो कोई डेडलाइन नहीं, दोनों तरफ को डील अच्छा मिले तब डील हो जाएगा।
Union Minister Piyush Goyal sets the record straight over trade deal, says there is no deadline so far.
अगर मल्ला का बेटा उप मुख्यमंत्री बन सकता तो क्या आदम का बेटा मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बन सकता? हमको जवाब दिया। अगर मल्ला का बेटा उप मुख्यमंत्री बन सकता तो क्या मोहम्मद का बेटा नहीं बन सकता मुख्यमंत्री?
Asauddin Owaisi asks for Muslim Deputy Chief Minister for Bihar, says if 3% Mullah gets Deputy Chief Minister's position, why not a Muslim Chief Minister? Ladies and gentlemen, from the charred wreckage of Operation Sindoor, where Indian missiles, the BrahMos, turned Bahawalpur's terror citadels into graveyards, a new terror conspiracy is now being hatched. Masoud Azhar, the UN-designated butcher who vanished in a fireball on 7th of May, has resurfaced with an all-new woman terror brigade, a factory of female fidayeen designed to radicalize, recruit, as well as redeploy across the borders. Republic TV has now accessed the very tape, the very place where Masoud Azhar has spoken to the women who are now being indoctrinated. The tape that outlines a full-fledged indoctrination plan for women recruits. This is Pakistan's desperate mutation that is essentially happening, ladies and gentlemen, and the manner in which they are avoiding the gaze of the FATF. On This Is Exclusive, we put out the big expose.
From the ashes of Operation Sindoor, India's precision strikes that uprooted Pakistan's terror ecosystem, emerges a new terror plot. In a 21-minute audio address at Bahawalpur's Markaz Usman Ali, the UN-designated terrorist lays out a roadmap for Jamaat-ul-Mominat, the Jaish's new women's jihad brigade designed to radicalize, recruit, and unleash female cadres on a global scale. Azhar outlines a full-fledged indoctrination plan for women recruits mirroring Jaish-e-Mohammed's long-standing male training structure. He declares that just as men undergo the 15-day Daura-e-Tarbiyat course, women will now be enrolled in an induction program titled Daura-e-Taskiya to be conducted at the Bahawalpur Markaz. In the recording, Azhar promises that any woman who joins Jamiat-ul-Mominat will go straight to paradise from her grave after death.
उन्होंने हमारे मुकाबले में बेहयाई फैलाने वाली दानिश्वर औरतें खड़ी की हैं। उन्होंने हमारे मुकाबले में बेहयाई और जुल्म फैलाने वाली सहाफ़ी औरतें खड़ी की हैं। उन्होंने हमारे मुकाबले में औरत को एक फितना बनाकर, औरत को एक तमाशा बना के पेश किया है। हम उन सारे कुफ्र के इस सैलाब के मुकाबले में अपनी ईमान वाली बेटियों को खड़ा कर रहे हैं, ईमान वाली बहनों को खड़ा कर रहे हैं, और ये मुकाबला हमारी बेटियां और बहनें ही जीतेंगी।
The tape further exposes the leadership hierarchy of the new Women's Front. Masoud Azhar, who vanished after the 7th May strikes on his Markaz Subhanallah headquarters, admits the killing of his elder sister Hawa Bibi in the same operation. He now names his sister Sadia Azhar as the overall head, with Samaira Azhar and Afira Farooq, widow of Pulwama attacker Umar Farooq, as the lead instructors. And with this female terror front, Masoud Azhar is channelizing a new weaponized ideology with the help of his family members. Sources say that Jaish-e-Mohammed is now enlisting wives of commanders and economically vulnerable women from its centers in Bahawalpur, Karachi, Muzaffarabad, Kotli, Haripur and Manshera. Meanwhile, a critical question is why the terror state is investing into new cadres now that the old guard has been decimated. It was Republic TV that first broke how the country has been attempting to hoodwink the FATF to escape grey listing. With alarming ease, the Jaish terror group shifted funding of terror networks to digital Hawala channels under the guise of these very quote-unquote additional wings that is emerging. Now led by Azhar's other sisters, the new terror camps in Pakistan are under construction under a notorious terror digital veil.
Now let's tell you one of the other significant reasons why these digital veils are emerging from the terror groups. The Financial Action Task Force had just a few days ago issued a stark warning that Pakistan's 2022 exit from its grey list does not make it immune to terror financing and money laundering risks. Now, it was said that no country, including those delisted, is bulletproof against terrorist funding. Now, in 2022, Pakistan secured its removal from the FATF grey list after a 4-year stint under intense scrutiny. Islamabad presented a robust 34-point national action plan to the FATF, claiming to have taken decisive steps against terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed. These included seizing their headquarters, placing the bank accounts of key figures like Masoud Azhar under surveillance, and banning the group from cash-based transactions. Now, these measures were touted as proof of Pakistan's commitment to dismantling the terror financing networks. Now, report, however, paints a very different picture, exposing how the Jaish-e-Mohammed has bypassed these measures with alarming ease. The group has shifted its fundraising to multiple digital wallets, funneling funds through accounts linked to Masoud Azhar's family and associates. Now, the reports that we have accessed indicate that Jaish-e-Mohammed has raised about 3.9 billion Pakistani rupees to build 330 new terror training facilities across Pakistan. What we understand now is that they are expanding the reach by launching a women's wing, which is known as Jamaat-ul-Muminat, led by Masoud Azhar's sisters. To further markets activities, Jaish-e-Mohammed has actually shifted from collecting donations under the guise of building these markers or the terror facilities to soliciting 500 Pakistani rupees per enrollment for the so-called online courses. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the full story that we have brought to you. Full details of Masoud Azhar's tape only with Republic TV. Joining us on this broadcast is General Harsha Kakkar. He's a national security expert. General Kakkar, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. You must have seen the tapes that we have now put out for the entire world to witness. How exactly is Pakistan now trying to hoodwink the FATF?
Let me just start by saying, across the world, family businesses grow economically. In Pakistan, family businesses are terror networks. There's nothing else. Secondly, you got to realize that Masoud Azhar is now in a desperate state. All his attempts in J&K have failed. As far as recruitment is concerned, locally, there is almost no one. Figures are down to single digits. What's his option? Look for new avenues. He's hoping his sisters are going to get involved and hope to recruit. One more fact which you mentioned is something which is very important for the FATF and the UN Security Council to note. The fact that he's inducting the widow of the Pahalgam attacker is itself an indicator that Pakistan continues to support terrorists, because this is an official indicator. And like all other schemes of Masoud Azhar before, they failed. This is also a drama which will last a few days. He needs money desperately. He's not getting enough money around. The Pak government is itself not even able to repair the facilities that were damaged and smashed during Operation Sindoor. Who the hell is going to fund Masoud Azhar? So what's he doing now is collecting it under different excuses. And if you think the money is going to go into creating these facilities, the facilities are single huts. They're small establishments. The money is going into his pockets. It's he who's collecting property. He's making a fool of his own people and making a fool of those on those whom he recruits. Why aren't his sisters part of the organization? Why aren't they launching the operations as jihadists? Why are they coaching them? Why can't they get involved and sacrifice themselves? That itself will be an indicator that he's making a fool of innocent people, of uneducated, simple folk, and trying to hoodwink his own people. Nobody in J&K is going to fall for it. Nobody anywhere else in the world is going to fall for it. It's his own people who are going to fall for it. It's just a drama that he's running at the moment. Let's use this to hit back at Pak through the FATF, through the UNSC, because this is clear evidence of Pak officially supporting terror networks.
General Kakko, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. This undoubtedly is the evidence that the world must witness as to how exactly the Pakistanis are trying to fool everyone. Thank you very much.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Shift focus now to the other big story that we are getting to tonight on This Is Exclusive. 91-year-old Thuingaleng Muivah, the iron-fisted General Secretary of the NSCN-IM, India's oldest living insurgent, the man who forged a Naga rebellion in the jungles of what we call it the Maoist China, has returned home. He comes wielding ultimatums, the framework agreement of 2015. He's reignited the explosive demand of Nagalim, but in a big revelation, his top command admits fresh arms, pipelines and alliances with Bangladesh and Myanmar's junta as the fragile peace just shattered. Take a look at this full report and that exclusive coming up with top commander of the NSCN-IM.
These were the scenes when India's oldest living rebel returned home after more than half a century. 91-year-old Thuingaleng Muivah is the General Secretary of the Nationalist Socialist Council of Nagalim, one of the most powerful Naga insurgent faction. It was from this same village that Muivah left in 1964, trekking through the jungles of northern Myanmar and setting up the insurgent camps with a tacit understanding with ideological camps of Maoist China.
After how many years you have seen him?
I think 30, 40 years.
After 30, 40 years. Where did you saw him last time?
I saw him last time at Dimapur.
At Camp Hebron.
Yeah.
After that, now you have seen him.
This is the first time. This is the last one.
His return has reignited the Nagalim debate. A Naga flag a separate land and a separate constitution. That's what the demand for Nagaland is all about. The demand envisions uniting all Naga tribes under one administrative and cultural identity. Muivah's return also brings back memories of the violent past, years of conflict and bloodshed that forced the government of India to bring NSCN-IM on the negotiating table. Talks have now dragged on for more than 2 decades. Muivah's deputy Gen 8M shows no optimism.
You know, framework agreement was signed 10 years ago, and Indian government leadership is still yet to wake up. We are waiting for them to rise up from their hibernation.
If we talk about the visit of Thuingaleng Muivah to Manipur, how do you see it? Do you see it just as a homecoming, or is this visit political too?
Yes, being a political revolutionary, it is political as well as social.
But the most startling revelation comes from the chief of Naga army and a relative of Muivah.
We have good relation now with Metis, with all the community, Zomi, Cookies. They do not call us enemy, but they want to make an alliance with us. Even the Myanmar junta, they want to make an alliance with us. Even the Bangladesh, they want to make an alliance with us.
This is the biggest admission made by the insurgent group. Remains to be seen as to how the government of India will respond to these ultimatums.
Well, earlier today, I spoke to the General Atem, who's the deputy to the General Secretary of NSCN-IM. And on record, for the first time, there is a confirmation from the NSCN-IM with regards to their alliances with neighbors. How Bangladesh and junta have basically come together to support the NSCN. They have also admitted that in the last few years, they have had to procure their arms from Cox's Bazar. This is what V.S. Atem had to tell me earlier today. In the backdrop of the statements that you have made and your colleagues have essentially made, in fact, the chief of the Naga army has made an admission that the Chinese as well as the Bangladeshis are seeking an alliance with the NSCN. Is it an attempt that you are making to basically try and weaken the position and perhaps threaten the government of India by simply saying that you are looking for an alliance with China as well as Bangladesh?
We are friends of all people who are who have concern for all of us.
You are saying that the Chinese are concerned about the Naga people?
Chinese, they may be concerned, Bangladeshi may be concerned, Pakistanis may be concerned, Sri Lankanese may be concerned, even Indians may be concerned for us. But the government of India has not been able to work out the details of the framework agreement as agreed in the framework agreement.
Well, that was the first big response coming in from V.S. Atem. He happens to be the deputy to the General Secretary. Joining me right now is my colleague Anirudh from Senapati, the headquarters of the group. In fact, earlier today, Atem admitted that there was a tacit understanding with the Chinese as well as Bangladeshis. The chief of the Naga army has admitted to the fact that they were procuring weapons from Cox's Bazar. Is this very clear that perhaps they are not serious about any sort of negotiation with the government of India?
See, Sawan, if we talk about the negotiations that are going on, then yes, definitely the NSCN-IM, while they are continuing with the talks with the government, at the same time also they are, trying to assert on the integration of the Nagas, and that is the reason why from time to time they have come into conflict with the government of with the security forces, particularly in Manipur, in Arunachal Pradesh, as well as in parts of Assam, where they claim that the Naga inhabited areas belongs to them, and that is also the reason why they have been trying to derail the tactics or delay, trying to adhere to delay tactics when it comes to the talks. They're trying to push the ball to the court of the government of India as far as the talks are concerned, but at the same time they're also not owing up as
well, in
what
fact,
the framework agreement
the
really
NSCN must also answer why exactly the framework agreement has not been made public, if at all they are very serious about the negotiation that they're essentially having with the government of India. Ladies and gentlemen, a story that we'll be tracking very closely. We are the only network to have done so far. The other big story that we're getting to you tonight on This Is Exclusive. This is about a software engineer who was arrested by the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorism Squad in Pune. In fact, this was over alleged links with Al-Qaeda. And it turns out that he was following the terror outfit's founder, that's Osama bin Laden. And the Urdu translation of a speech of bin Laden was among the items that were recovered from Zubair's possessions after he was arrested by the Maharashtra's anti-terror squad. Now let's take you through some of the details of the investigation that has been carried out. This undoubtedly is one of the biggest arrests that have been made by the Maharashtra anti-terrorist squad in the recent past. Police sources have also indicated that Pune-based techie Zubair, arrested for alleged links with terror outfit Al-Qaeda, was found in possession of Osama bin Laden's speeches, a bomb-making guide, and photographs showing him holding an AK-47 rifle and assembling the explosives. Now, what we have also picked up is that the software engineer, who earned around 25 lakh rupees per year, reportedly came into online contact with Al-Qaeda members back in the year 2019, raising serious concerns about radicalization through digital platforms. The seized material is now under forensic examination as part of a wider probe into his suspected terror links. Now, we've got more details how exactly he was basically operating, because there is a clear link of this techie. Zubair, the Pune-based techie, was arrested for his links with Al-Qaeda. He was basically visiting different areas in Kondua, in Maharashtra, over the past few years, where he interacted with local youngsters. Investigators have also found out that he was in touch with members of several terror modules active in Pune, and had even met suspects associated with Al-Supa or Al-Shabaab and other extremist networks operating in Padga, in Thane and Ratlam in Madhya Pradesh. These revelations have deepened suspicions of Zubair's broader connections within an expanding terror network under ATS scrutiny. Let me go across to my colleague Meenakshi, who's joining us on this broadcast. Meenakshi, getting us the latest details. We understand ATS has also seized 19 items. Give us a full picture of the investigation that has been carried out so far and why it is a cause of concern.
Yes, the Republic has accessed exclusive inputs on this story that Zubair, a BTech graduate employed with a private software firm and had allegedly developed connection with individuals earlier arrested from the same area in terror-related cases in Pune. ATS team tracked him down to Pune railway station. Upon his return from an event from Chennai, he was detained along with an associate and later formally arrested. Now, his laptop was sent for forensic examination, which confirmed the presence of extremist literature and Al-Qaeda related content. Most important thing is that investigators recover images and information from Al-Qaeda's Inspire magazine detailing how to fire an AK-47 rifle and make bombs. Very important this information is, because they are in the training, they are on the training, and other sources told us that there are, say, another module.
Meenakshi, we've just got more details right now. The ATS, in fact, has seized about... Meenakshi, just if you can hold on, I'm getting at more details. The ATS, in fact, has seized 19 items, which includes Zubair's laptop, which was found to contain downloaded Al-Qaeda literature, and 40 mobile phones. All confiscated gadgets have been sent for further digital forensic analysis as investigators continue to have examined the potential connections and activities related to the extremist organizations. Well, that's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time with more exclusive stories coming up, trending with my colleague Rakshita.